This podcast is a quest for well-being, a quest for a meaningful life through the exploration of fundamental truth. Enlightening ideas, insights on physical, mental, and spiritual health. The inspiration is love. The aspiration is to awaken new ways of thinking that can lead us to a new way of being well. Welcome to Body, Mind, and Soul Healing Conversations.
Psychedelic integration is about respect, both for yourself and for the plant that gave you the medicine, that awakened your emotional, spiritual, and psyche to new awareness in healing yourself. What you do with this awareness, how you integrate it, and what you choose to do with it determines how you show up in your essence, your true self. Valeria Teles interviews Wallace Murray. He is a global coach, psychotherapist, urban shamanism teacher, counseling hypnotherapist, a hypnotherapy teacher, registered therapeutic counselor, member of ACCT member, Canadian Association for Psychodynamic Therapy, and speaker. In Wallace Murray's private practice, he works one-on-one, in groups, and online with clients from all over the world, guiding others to uncover possibilities and paths to life. He is a registered therapeutic counselor, a counseling hypnotherapist, a hypnotherapy teacher, and a member of the Psychodynamic Association of Canada. When asked, he is a helper with ceremonial medicine, in gratitude to the Balinese and Cree knowledge keepers that have mentored Wallace, guided him and protected him as he learned what he can do and what he is still learning to do. His studies include an Advanced Counselling Skills Diploma, an Advanced Bachelor's degree, and a graduate degree, a Post Baccalaureate Graduate Diploma. Wallace Murray is a Compassionate Inquiry Practitioner, a 240-hour year-long graduate-level training in psychotherapy mental health approach, developed by Gabor Mate. He is also a Humanistic Neuro-Linguistic programming practitioner, as well as a Master Practitioner of NLP. At present, Wallace's primary focus outside his practice is coaching mental health support workers and consulting around counseling and assessments within Aboriginal Services. Wallace has attended numerous other trainings in mental health, trauma, personal development, plant medicine, and psychedelic integration, dream work, career, and organizational development, to name only a few. His personal journey, like you, includes growth both by default as well as by design, and inspires him to continue learning from knowledge keepers in meditation, qigong, spirit world, nature, ceremony, and overall how to live life from old knowledge into the present day. Meet Wallace at wallacemurray.com. Here's the interview with Wallace Murray.
In your own words, who is Wallace Murray?
Oh my gosh, who's Wallace? I'm just a guy who's living on planet Earth, just doing the best I can, and like everyone else, and that's me. Yeah, I'm just on a journey like everyone.
That's a very interesting answer, very open. But you still said the word journey. So what is are we going anywhere? Wallace, are you going anywhere? What is the destination?
I guess if I was to answer that question for me, where am I going? I'll say I don't know. I mean, I think it's important in life to have intentions. If anything I've learned in life, I used to be very, very goal-oriented and all these kinds of things. And what I was taught, and I'll say I was taught by wise, knowledgeable people, as well as just life lessons. You know, we get to learn sometimes life lessons by chance or by default rather than by design. I think it's really important to just have intentions, and those intentions to be based on gratitude. And I can't say enough about that. And I think I wonder if that maybe I'll chat a little bit about what I mean by that.
Yes, I would love to hear more. Yes.
Yeah. So anything I've learned that and I'm all the time I'm learning this, is that the real way to move forward is to just move forward and always sit in a place of how you can be for the greater good. And the universe, the planet, all the elements that are here of people and everything will open up to that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I know, and I'm speaking for me, but this is a message I think everyone can relate to or share in their own way. And I'm just a person doing the best they can in this. And by no means have I perfected this, or I go off the path. And I'm human as human as everyone else, every other human, is that gratitude. And I think it starts with first the gratitude to yourself. And in a lot of old traditions, that gratitude is in the breath, where you know, no matter what thought or feelings are coming or anything, that breath, that each breath is a beautiful reminder, a gift that the universe is saying, hey, we're alive within you and we're guiding you no matter what's going on.
Wow.
And a lot of traditions, they'll say that breath is and once you get into it, is that's even source. Like that's the whatever this mystery of the great mystery of the that we're in is saying thank you through you in that breath, and the honor of living, breathing, growing, and this living miracle that we each of us is. And and I do that. Some, I guess, traditions or different things that I've done is really also focusing with that on the gratitude for yourself, and just being grateful for the body you have, whatever it is, and whatever state it's in, for your organs, your bones, your just appreciation for the body you inhabit, and bringing that to everything that you're doing, and being thankful for that. And from there, you can. I think it's easy to give gratitude for others. And I think when you do that to others, when you appreciate others, you're signaling to the great mystery, this universe, this everything, that there's worthiness here among us all, and there's joy here, and opportunities come out of that for yourself, and I think for others you interact with, and then all the thankfulness and the gratefulness and all the blessings can come in. And that's not a very, and when you do that, you're not, ego has nothing to do with it. Ego's just kind of around, but you're not moving forward from ego. Another one I'd say is to be grateful to your ancestors. And that's one I've really, actually plant medicine helped me really actually that's where I got to step into that, rather than having shame or different things around that. And because right now with COVID and a lot of things, people are really focused on all the frustrations. There's, if you go on social media, everyone's, back and forth. There's opposing sides. There's adversity, and now the Omicron. And other people are, I don't want to, again, not be able to see everyone. I want to be free, and they're having a resistance to that. And I think being gratitude for our ancestors actually puts us in a place, when you think about all the challenges they went through, all the ups and downs, all the chaos, all the different times in history, that you realize we're in this circle of life, and this is just what happens. And then you start going into, from your ancestors, you go into this gratitude that starts to include everyone, because we're all related. And this gratitude for everyone, and just appreciating all the stuff that's going on, then you get into, wait a second, the key, all this chaos, this fear or confusion or anger or argument is actually a clearing of an old patterning, and making room for the exact opposite. And this has been a theme throughout history since, of everything, not just us. Some people say that it goes on in the spirit world. It's just in every fiber of the universe. So all this stuff that's happening is actually clearing space for greater peace to come, for more integrity, more love, more joy, more authenticity, rather, and less greed and less anger, less fear, etc. And that's just what I wanted to share in that. Thank you.
Is that something that becomes then a practice, or this is a realization and a shift that now from that shift we are just expressing ourselves in such a way? Yeah.
I'm laughing because I think the practice itself creates the shift, but I'm laughing because this week I've been incorporating these things into a prayer. I do a daily prayer, and I'm just laughing because this week there was one day where I can't say I was in the best frequency for the prayer, and just because of my own stuff and everything, but yet doing that, by the end of it's like kind of like a gentle hug, and I realized that what it is, it actually, when you do that, it gives gratitude back to yourself, which is the healing, wonderful thing. So in answer to your question, it kind of both the practice or the ritual, and when it, there's very similar to ceremony, when it becomes that, it just does it for you. So everything's interconnected, and I think that's a really important piece. It's all of it working together, that it's the connectedness that keeps kind of just gently giving you safety as you move through your life. And that's the big thing, that's security and safety, I think. And that's what these things do.
Yeah, I love that too. So practice, realization, shift, they're just the same thing in a way. No order, really. I love that idea of freedom, that life is just free and does what it does. It supports itself. So it's always trying to find ways to support itself. We see that in nature. And I don't see human beings being apart from nature. We are nature, but for some reason we think we're
nature. We're very much nature. Yeah, we're all connected. Absolutely.
And when you mentioned the spiritual world, what is the spiritual world, Wallace?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm just I'm like a little baby in this. Really, I really am. I'm just I'm like a baby birthed into the spirit world, going, holy cow. Yeah. I'm not sure. It's I did use the Great Mystery, and I think that's what it's called. There's lots of traditions that have writings about it, and there's so many practices that can, I think, put you in touch with that. It's definitely, greater than ourselves. It goes beyond what we can, see, hear, and, well, let me rephrase that. You can see, hear, and feel it, but it just goes beyond it, and it's there. It's all around us. Spirit world is real. For me, spirit world is real. And spirit world is real. So if you work from the premise that spirit world is real, it's all around us, and our practices are just to be put in touch with that. And there's different elements to spirit world, and some of them are healing and love. And there's also the other side. Last night was solstice, and it's the longest night, and with night, night and dream time, and those things are the unconscious, and into spirit world, and these mysteries, and all these different things. And it's not all good that's there. There are, I'll say, spirits or things that have for just in a perspective I'll give, they have jobs and roles to play, and some of those things are, those roles to play exist in the traumas that people have, and the lives, and some of the abuses, and all those different things, and which are horrible, but they're all part of this world. And that, when I said about gratitude, that I was thinking about it before our call, and I really don't. We're getting there, but we're in this place of learning before we go home. And I say before we go home, when we pass, and then we go home. This isn't our home. We're just passing through in this learning. And that's about the gratitude for being all these things. And I think that's part of our learnings, to do that no matter what's happened with us or anything like that. It's to take being able to respond and have a different relationship with it. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't take away things that are evil, and there are evil things and evil things that happen to people. They're horrible. It's a relationship to it, and that's part of about the chaos and the circle of everything that's going on. And so you ask, where do I sit? I'm just I'm really nothing. We're all just kind of nothing. Just learning. We're this uniqueness, but really we're also just just these entities going around. We're not powerful, and we are powerful. And yeah.
I love that too. That resonates true. When you just try to describe the spiritual world, it kind of made me think of this world, duality, and what we see here, the opposites. Even in our own minds, we see the dark and the light. We see opposites everywhere.
I want to add one thing. Everyone can tap into the spirit world, and there's so many practices to do that. All the, I'll say indigenous practices do that. All the indigenous peoples of Turtle Island, from North America to South America, have ceremonies. Its spirit world is there. Plant medicine, breathing techniques. I mean, the gurus of India and parts of the world, the Siberian Plateau. I mean, there's lots of people doing things that are always in touch with spirit world. The world we're in is spirit world. We just don't always know that. The spirit world's here. It's just,
yes. Yeah. Oh my God, yes, 1,000 times to that. It is here now. We just are so limited, by programs of the brain, so limited. And I love the idea that we can somehow expand and be willing to do that. And that's why I was really excited about talking to you today about psychedelics in plant medicine, because it does exactly that. Talk to me about your own experience, Wallace, and also what is psychedelic integration?
Yeah. Well, psychedelic integration, I guess, is the clinical name for helping people with psychedelic experience, or when they do psychedelics, and it will have an effect, and they'll learn something and about themselves or some traumas, etc. And helping them just process that after. So the effectiveness is there. There's a therapeutic holding around it. And in psychedelic integration, that's a new term. So I think they're still trying to figure it out. But I'm going to call it, it's to me, it's on the clinical side. So for me, it was a bit of a challenge seeing psychedelics versus plant medicine. And because to me there's a difference between them. In fact, there's kind of three. So there's the psychedelics are like almost used like a drug for fun. People do it for fun, to enhance pleasure, to whatever. Just to and great. Then there's people are saying about psychedelics to help, and there's a lot of evidence. I mean, to show psilocybin is great for end of life care. I mean, the studies are coming out now. Ketamine is now legal, and all its effectiveness and things like that, which is great. So how do you set it up? But plant medicine to me is on the ceremonial side, and I say medicine because it's a gift that we've gotten, a medicinal gift from nature, and we have lots of those. It's not just what people know about ayahuasca or different cactus or things like that. There's things from nature, even different plants we drink, or teas we drink, or traditional Chinese medicine is built around a lot of things from the earth and putting them together to help heal us and be like medicine. So I think that's an important way to look at it. So, but back, I guess, to your question, I'm going a bit off, but in terms of integration, it's really about how can you help someone with this journey they're going to take, and this unveiling that they're going to receive when they do the psychedelic. I approach it as a plant medicine and as a plant and has a spirit. There's a spirit in that. So my suggestion to everyone is to approach it like that. You're building because it has a spirit, you're building a relationship with it, and that relationship starts before you do the psychedelic. Let's call it the psychedelic or the plant medicine. So it starts before that. And I think it's really important to in your daily practice, how you're eating, how you're being, to prepare for it. So, for example, some plant medicines, ayahuasca, for example, you prepare, you're eating a certain way, you're not eating meat weeks before, you're really watching your mind in terms of thoughts and things like that to see what comes up. You're slowing down, and your energy and your day, you're less time with phones and things like that. your energy, you're keeping your energy more to yourself, which means that you don't, you're not giving so much to others. Perhaps you're abstaining from sexual relationships with yourself and others, etc., and preparing for this meeting, this communion, this togetherness with this plant, with the spirit, okay, psychedelic. And also during that time, you're with the integration work, if you're working with someone, they can really help you get clear with your intention. And using myself, for example, I had an intention when I did a first ceremony, and someone lovingly asked me the question if I was human, and then did a kind of some work with me. There's processes to do that got me to a place where I had a totally different intention, and that intention really was a very powerful one. Made my experiences very deep, and got to the core of some things, and that's what it's about, to get to so plant integration. I to help someone get clear on that intention is what that's about. And when they go and when they come out, to then help them integrate it, and that's a fancy word for just helping them process it, to be safe with it. And that's the difference between clinical and ceremony. Clinical, so that's psychedelic. I would say in the world right now, there's different sides. The clinical side, the purpose wants to define and solve. Okay, what's the problem? They want to define it, make it in the studies, and then let's solve it. Why? Well, because we want to find answers. And how do we do that? We analytically think about it, and the outcome we want is solutions. And I'm not against that model. That's a great model for what it does. If you approach it from a ceremonial side, though, the purpose is really about making things right for that person. And why? Well, we're allowing a great mystery, whatever that is, and for the and just maybe being there for and helping that person. They're going to go in. It's a very individual experience when you're doing this, and a mystery is going to come, and that great mystery is going to come. And if you have the relationship and say, "Here's my intention, show me or teach me about this," it will come. And it won't be anything. You're going to feel it. It's going to be in the core of your being. It's going to go deep, deep inside you. And this relationship with this plant, and it will take you there. And it will, like a loving parent, might be painful, or you'll have to take some, we'll call it pain, but the truth is there. So what it's really doing is you're going to feel the real truth. And then the truth, that's the freedom. You have to go through that to get to the freedom. And that's the outcome. Because with that truth that's revealing itself, that this plant's helping you see, and you're going through that truth, whatever it is, the other side of it, as I said, is freedom, but it's also you're safe. You feel secure because you were held and you went through an experience that was challenging, but you feel belonging more to yourself. You feel like you belong in this world again, way more than before. And I think that's the real important part of it. So part of the integration work and helping people is actually helping them prepare for how they're going to be during that experience. So that's just an approach or a suggestions I'm giving out there for people in who are going to explore this space. And time will tell. There's clinical models, and then there's not. So I have faith that in the end the side I just said and these what I'm sharing now isn't really from me. It's from I'm lucky to have learned it from people, and these learnings and teachings and everything are old, and they've come up through ancestors who work with these plants and everything, and from the plants themselves. Some of what I'm speaking has been shared to people that I heard or shared with me, and I'm saying it, but it really came from a relationship people had with a plant and plants and Mother Nature that's helping us. And that's sort of, yeah.
I love the preparation phase. Or the process that you just described, it sounds really beautiful to me. It's like, as you said, preparing to meet your deeper self, or the spirit you, a part of you that is connected with everything. It's a beautiful thing, it sounds to me. So I wonder if this is for everyone, Wallace. Can everyone engage in psychedelic integration?
I can't answer for everyone. So I think each person decides in their life when to do anything, and if it's right for them. There are, I mentioned about the studies, there are studies coming out that the success rates done under, that's why, the clinics are being open, why they're doing the studies, why ketamine's, been legalized, why their psilocybin is a great friend of life care. So I think those are real, that data is becoming quite strong. You can look it up. It's John Hopkins has some, and New York University has, you can look up the studies. MAPS is a good, MAPS publishes a lot. So I think for that, I think it's really important. I think it's coming. It's going to be part of our medical systems and therapy, and that's a great thing. So I think if you have depression that the treatments aren't working so far, or PTSD and it's been challenging, I think some psychedelics are being shown to be very helpful and to help you, along with the therapy that goes with it. And there are therapies that work as well. So in that perspective, I think there's a bright future. That being said, each one of us decides to step into whatever they wish to do or not. And I mean that. It really, we're on our own paths. I have no right to tell anyone what to do. What I can do, and what all of us to do, is as best we can to be as kind and loving as we can to ourselves and to others, so they feel, safe enough and secure enough that maybe they take a step in whatever they do for their healing.
I love to hear that. It has been said that true healers, that's exactly what they do. They're just guides. They're not really telling others what to do and how to do it, but they're just guiding if somebody will come to them. So it's open, it's very open. Urban shamanism, is that the same thing as psychedelic integration, or
no,
something else?
It's a term. I was I'm trying to figure out a term just because of 2013. Some major different things happened. 2014 that it was pretty clear I needed not just back and forth in the path, but to go step into it. And so I was looking for a term. I thought, how do I? And I'm not big on terms and titles all the time. But on the other hand, people have to be able to find you. And I did research, and urban shamanism is there's a group that uses it, and I think it's good. It's basically taking shamanistic principles and practices, whether you're in a lineage or not, and bringing them into the modern urban world. And that's different than a traditional shamanism. I mean, shamanism is a word from Siberia, but we use it in English and other languages, and it explains, I think, any knowledge keeper or guru. There's different names that follow a set of practices that are old and do those things, and that's what a ceremony is. It's a set of practices that allow a gathering, a holding, the safety and security to be there for people. Those are legitimate paths, and they should be named as they are, and ask the people that follow them, how should I refer to this, et cetera, and to work in those paths, it's a long approach. I mean, to be a shaman, those approaches 10, 20 years or your whole life to really follow it. Urban shamanism is about either maybe following those, or if people appear. Usually when you're on this path, mentors and knowledge keepers and things will appear or come into your life. And if you're open to those signs and those people, you'll get teachings. And then you do your best. And that's where I'm in. I'm doing my best with those in the world I'm in. And anyway, there's a group that and people that call urban shamanism. I think there's a book called Urban Shaman, someone who went down a shamanistic path of in Hawaii, and and I like the name actually, and I think it's a nice way to think of how we want to be in our day-to-day lives, and to bring that into it. The term helps me bring it in, and I always think of it when I'm trying to do my work. There's a term I can't remember the writer now. In a class that I taught, it was one of the papers that I used, and it's about a two-eyed approach. And it's about two eyes, one eye, working from a modern, let's call it a modern day eye, And that would be the clinical. Like, let's say I was just talking about clinical, using all that knowledge and all those things that are always coming all around the world. And then your other eye is rooted in the indigenous or the ceremonial side or whatever you say, that way of seeing things. And for me, urban shamanism is about working from a two-eyed approach.
Knowledge and wisdom, they meet. So that combination seems to be open to life.
And I just do my best in that. And yeah.
There's a website connected to yours that I have seen some products, psychedelics products or plant medicine products that they in chocolates, dry mushrooms, gummies.
I don't offer those things, but there are sites that do.
Okay, yeah.
Not on my site, on my site. But yeah, there's places now to purchase them and all those kinds of things. It's just starting to, I guess, really open up now. It's out of the closet, shall we say, all these Google now and yeah.
So I like that. And I was just thinking, so the website that I found these products there is frshminds.com. So we can purchase these. I saw the chocolate. I'm like, oh my God, I'll get some. Not a good idea to get some, perhaps one only.
Right.
Just in case, if I got that, it's something that I would probably give it to my husband. He will be my guinea pig.
Oh, that's funny.
That'll be him first. So if I do that, Wallace, what are some suggestions that you would give me? I would have to hire you to guide us.
Yeah. Well, because I get calls and I have some groups that give me referrals, and my deal with the referrals, I don't administer or anything like that. So I have people, I think they should find their own sources. I would start off and ask, why this chocolate? Why this in particular? Because I go back to the relationship. I'll share. I think that's really important. Why mushroom? Why not iboga? Why not ayahuasca? Why not chama? Why not peyote? Why? And to think about that. And I think going allow dream time to speak with you, during your dreams with intention. Hey, show me which medicine or which psychedelic I should take or have a relationship with at this time, and something may come. So that's what I'm going to throw out to you. And I've had people come and, I do mushrooms. I want you to help me. And I've had a few clients. We do work, and they're like, wow, I didn't, more with you than I got from mushrooms. And the work that I've done has prepared them for whatever they may choose to do. So I think that's the question I'm going to throw out. And yes, people do contact me and say, hey, I did this. I heard you're a good guy to talk to about, all the weird experiences I had. Can I do that? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And we chat about that. And I always ask, why did you choose that? Why, and just have whatever the reason, and let's get curious and see what's going on and do that. So I don't know if that's your question fully, but that's how I'd like to answer it. I'm gonna throw it out. Why that? And was it just spontaneous, or was it, you felt an attachment, or you've been called to do that, or
Yeah, I love that question. I love questions. So that makes a lot of sense. Well, we all love chocolate, I guess, especially women. I eat chocolate every day. So by seeing those bars, I'm like, oh my God, they look one better than the other. One
of course,
raspberry. Yeah. I love raspberry. And then you have one that's chocolate raspberry.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm a cocoa nut. I love cocoa. I put it in my smoothie every day. Pure, organic. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I guess, I don't know how much deeper we can go with that. It's kind of clear in a way. The gummies, I didn't really felt attracted to it. And then the dry mushrooms, I never tried. And I don't really like mushrooms that much, the truth is. And then capsules, I take supplements, so I didn't want to take more. So it was almost like trying to combine the experience of the spiritual world with the physical world, where it has the senses and it's feeling everything in the body. It's almost like the spirit being felt in the body. So chocolate kind of makes me think about that.
Beautiful. Yeah, and that's a plant and has a spirit. Cocoa has a spirit, just like coffee has a spirit. And certain teas are master plants that have people diet them. I've dieted one myself, and means you drink a certain tea every day. You can go be by yourself in a forest, or you can do it at home, maybe a longer period of time, and just drink a tea, and it's not necessarily psychedelic, and the spirit of that will speak to you. So just hearing you on Cocoa, it could be interesting for you to do. There are beautiful Cocoa ceremonies, and I've attended them, and that could be. I'm guessing that would probably be really powerful with you, and you could implement it at home and drink it and have a ritual around it, and all sorts of things, and allow it in your dreams. Yeah.
If this persists, the thought, I will look for it. If it continues to come, it came today.
Yeah.
Is that safe, Wallace? Like if I got the chocolate?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't speak for any site or anything like that. I think it's important to check out really do your due diligence with whatever you're going to buy, and I think that's really really important. And I think it's important too. I'll throw it out. I mean, there are people like shamans and medical professionals that know the psychedelics, or the people that have been trained and to use that medicine. And I think it's important also to work with them too if you're going to do a full on ceremony as well. But I would go to trusted sites. I would check, do some diligence, see what people say, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you. I will look into it if it continues. It's almost like an inner suggestion. It seems like something in me is trying to take my husband into this, I guess. And I don't know, maybe because he mentioned before and he wanted to do this, and then I never really, this is something that never left me. I'm trying to kind of get him in to try some of this. It will come to me. I know it will come.
Yeah. He'll know when or if it's right for him, and you'll know too.
Right.
Yeah. I waited a few years on purpose, and I purposely didn't do any. I was told that by a knowledge keeper that every word he says is it's beyond trust. So I waited, and then I knew it was time. Yeah, I didn't rush into it. I didn't. I can't. It was a different knowing when you're it's from the deep part of you that knows what's best for you, and honestly, I struggle with that. I'm Mr. hyper impatient most of my life, so that's me that I've had to learn to love and love even when he comes out and he's not nice. So yeah.
I think you mentioned that on your website that it's all about relationships. So it starts slow to go fast. I think that's the way you phrased it.
Yes.
And somebody else that I interviewed recently, she's a shaman. She said, shamanism is all about relationships. It's interesting that you've been saying that all the time too. And then she mentioned the word devotion and euphoria, two other words connected to shamanism. So in a sense of joy, bliss. You're saying the same thing now. So it's kind of coming to me as a message. That's so true. It's a relationship we have. That is the spiritual world really operating, reflected in our relationships with whatever it is. So we're almost at the end. I do have a few more questions for you, Wallace. Would you like to add anything else that we didn't discuss today?
No, I'm just a parting word. I think the only thing I can say, and it's just a reminder, and everyone deep down knows this, just in anything that you do, just tap into yourself, and I'd say your gut, and ask for guidance. What you should do for the greater good, and that's it.
I love that. Thank you so much for being open to life. Yeah, so true. What do you love most about being in a human body?
I'm kind of a feeling guy. I like whenever I've been in my zone, just feeling my energy, like who I am, and taking steps as who I am. And when I do that, I love food more. I love intimate relationships more. I love friendships more. The basic things that are I'd say, nourish us. And that's what nourishes us. It's the love we have with others, the whether it be walking, making love, eating food, all those kinds of things. So I love all those things.
Yeah. It's part of this human experience, isn't it?
Yeah. And allowing for that. Sometimes we get so heavy, people. We especially in the spiritual empowerment space, and to deny it yourself, and there are times you should. Absolutely, I've done that. But also it's okay to eat sometimes to eat a piece of cake.
Oh yeah.
or to do certain things, and life is meant to be enjoyed in that moderation and in balance, and there's a time and place for everything.
Yes, I agree. That's another interesting word: harmony, balance. If life had one purpose only, what would that be from your perspective?
Life had one purpose only. I would say to be kind and to be loving.
Oh, I love that, Wallace. Yeah, kindness. Yeah, it's a word that to me it's very much connected to love. Yeah, love, kindness. I don't know what comes first. My last question is: what are 3 things you wish everyone to experience before they lose the body, before they die?
Oh, okay. I was going to say freedom, but truth. And what I mean is their own truth. And to step into the truth of who they are and how they've been impacted and everything that's gone on in their life and everything to step into that. And when I say step into to have to almost face it, like you're turned around and say, I want to see, hear, and feel all of it, fully the truth of it, whatever happened, whatever, and there were mistakes, and even if horrible things happen to you, to really do that, and in that process to have a new relationship with it. And there's a lot of and I would say, like I think I mentioned before, that's where the freedom lies, and your personal power, if you want to use those terms, lies, and you start moving forward with intention and gratitude. So I'd like everyone to experience that. The rest, anything else I said would be, my own bias is like a good cup of coffee, or, those kind of things, having beautiful connections with people. But all those, I think, really result from what I just said, and you just start to have all those things. The relationship changes with a lot of things, your body, with everything.
Yeah, what a beautiful message. Thank you so much, Wallace, for your presence in this reality, and for being open to life, for the work you do, how you do it, the way you speak. I love the way you speak. It's very authentic, beyond authentic. It's natural. So thank you for being here.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And before we say goodbye, where can we find more information about you, your work, products, services, and future projects?
Website's the best place, www.wallacemurray.com, WALLACMURRAY.com, and just reach out for whatever reason. And I'm an open guy, so I welcome whatever comes in, and that's the best way. Yeah,
wonderful. I'll have the link on your podcast profile. Thank you again, Wallace. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Thank you for listening. To learn more about Wallace Murray and his work, please visit wallacemurray.com.
To learn more about this podcast, please visit fitforjoy.org/podcast. Thank you again for listening, and bye for now.